Hello, everyone. So excited to be here with Dina Kippel, who
Yay.
is the author of A New Force. Let me
Yeah.
show off the big book.
Oh,
I'm a little bummed because my kids immediately grabbed it. They were so attracted to it. Like, I think because it's so pretty and
yeah.
and they were
Uh-huh.
so attracted to it. They've already like bent this, written it.
Uh,
And I was like, come on, guys. Like I just bought it. It's
that's
so
so
pretty.
funny. Oh,
But
that's when you know you've that's a good book though. When a book is worn, that's what it's supposed to be.
right. It's also a good sign if my kids are attracted to it.
Yes.
You
Yeah,
know,
good
that's
energy.
a high vibing book right there.
Yeah.
So I think we're probably gonna, when I get myself together enough to like really dig into it, I think I'm gonna
Yeah.
work with it for homeschool science.
Oh,
Uh,
that'd be so
I think
fun.
it's going to be fantastic for that.
Oh,
We work on all kinds of things like this
yeah.
for I want them
So,
to experience all of the aspects of science,
yeah.
especially the stuff that's not being fed to us.
Yeah. Okay. I love that you're saying that because this so opens up a great thing that I'll talk about on your podcast and video. My second book, I think my second book is called Holonic Metadynamics, and it basically goes more into a holistic science. And it's going to be like a textbook. This book is actually sold as a textbook too, the color version in the Library of Congress. It's actually categorized for people to hopefully buy it to teach it with. So yeah, that's awesome that you're doing that.
Yeah, I love that so much. And it's so cool. So basically, just to let everyone else know who doesn't already follow you and like digest
Yeah.
your information regularly, I came across Dana, I think just from my algorithm.
Yeah.
Because like this is my vibe, this is what I like.
Yeah.
And so I started just following right away. I think, you know what? No, it was actually my friend Tizzle sent me one of your videos. It wasn't
Oh,
my
cool.
algorithm, it was a friend. And she's
Okay.
amazing. I should hook you guys up. So
Okay.
anyway, she sent it to me, and then I
Mhm.
just like started diving into everything.
Yeah.
And
Oh, cool.
the work I do, I feel like is literally what you're talking about, but
Yeah.
you putting science behind it, you're putting like such interesting detail behind it. And a lot of it for me is like, I don't
Yeah.
know why necessarily I
Why something
can
works.
read someone's mind, or
Yeah.
I can after I do the session, they feel totally different, or what, like I
Yeah.
know some stuff, but I don't know
Yeah.
this much
Yeah.
about how this.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so maybe you could just share with us
Yeah.
two things first.
Yeah.
One, I just want to hear your like origin story as to become
Sure.
the like superhuman that you are evolving into,
Yeah.
and kind of see it happening. Been
We
following
all
you for a
are.
while now,
Yeah.
and then from there, like tell us about plasma. Like, what got you so into this, and like, why did you feel like you needed to write a book on it? And
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
with all the
They leak into each other. So
I
my
know, just
origin
yeah.
story, which I'm becoming obsessed with because it's kind of cool, and I hope it's a true story because this is what my birth father told me, is that 2 months before I was conceived, my birth father was struck by lightning. I think for the second time, if I'm not mistaken.
What? Like
Yeah, which
start to the story, first of all.
yeah, and lightning is plasma. So when, he told me that, I was so
Okay.
excited. I was like, "Oh my God, I came here through plasma." Almost like War of the Worlds, but a good thing, not like a
Right,
scary
right.
alien.
Yeah.
So then yeah, my parents had me very young, so I was adopted straight, out of the womb. When I was born, I think I almost died. I was very sick or something, some emergency happened. I would have to also get the full story from my birth mom. She has yet to tell me the entire story. But I know that I was like in a room alone for like 3 days. Obviously, doctors were checking on me, but I didn't get to be with my mom right away, who I eventually got, passed off from anyway. Yeah. And I think it's very important to say that story because I was born kind of disconnected, right? So I feel a lot of people who have a lot of trauma and grief, and we're all connected, right? To plasma, to source, to everything. But I feel like my biggest weakness was disconnection and wanting to connect to something, never feeling like a sense of self. So for me, what felt like was protecting me, or what I could, the only thing I could connect to was what I call plasma or the fabric of reality. It was like I was falling and I had nothing to grab onto, and it was kind of like this thing supporting me that I just always felt connected to, but I never called it plasma. Little did I know anything about plasma. So then, yeah, I go throughout my life. I had unfortunately a lot of trauma, a lot of difficult things were happening. I went through addiction. My gymnastics teacher was a child molester, so you could put the puzzle pieces together there. I struggled with my relationships and my family with my parents, and them just not understanding me, or I just don't think they had the tools to understand a kid like me. So, they were constantly mad at me I was getting in trouble a lot instead of maybe asking like, "Hey, what's happening to you? Like, what is wrong?" Or how do you learn? Because I learn by pattern recognition, and I learn kind of holistically. I don't learn like, "Hey, study this history that's like half true and take a test on it." So
Me too, girl. Me too.
yeah, I was gonna say, I think you can relate to that. That's amazing. You homeschool your kids. So anyway, fast forward, after a lot of hard things, some, of course, good things in between. And I land at age 30. And I went through a heartbreak that shouldn't have been that hard. I literally just caught my boyfriend like sexting this girl, but I think because I never thought he would do that, for some reason my like betrayal wound opened up, and my rejection wound, and everything from like adoption came back, and everything that's ever happened to me, it just like, I don't know, everything I was suppressing flooded to me. And
Um,
yeah, and when you suppress things and when you live a surface life, like I think I lived for about 20 years there when I closed everything up when I was like 10. Uh, Even if I was always connected to this plasma, right? And awareness, these beings that never left me, but I wasn't listening. I was living a surface survival life. And when you're in survival, you're not open to those things. So with that heartbreak, I was like, I want to feel better. I want to feel good. I want to feel connected. And I started meditating. And what came through after a few meditations was all of a sudden it like dropped in my head. Plasma is intelligent. It's the vehicle for consciousness. And this was before Robert Temple's book, where he kind of like talked about some of this stuff.
okay. Mhm.
Um, so when his book came out, it was such confirmation for me. And now he's become a great friend and mentor to me. I love him. I love his wife, Olivia. I think she's like the secret rock star behind them.
Oh, I bet.
Um,
Isn't that how it
yeah,
often works? Yeah.
yes, yes, yeah. And so that's kind of just where it started. It's kind of a funky story. It's more natural than one would think. And I think most things like that are true. Like with I'm not trying to compare myself to these people, but all the inventors I look at in history, they have very weird but natural stories of how they came up with these ideas. Like it's not like just this big spark moment. It's just more like, yeah, like human magic, right? So anyway, I became obsessed with
Magic.
plasma.
That's you.
Huh?
Cusp of magic. That's you.
Yeah, literally plasma magic. And of course, I know you have a lot more questions, so I'll kind of I'll
Good.
let you ask more. Yeah, but that's how I became obsessed with it. That was
Mhm.
kind of my origin story sped up. I talk a lot more in the book about, things that have happened to me, and I saved a lot of stuff too because I eventually want to make a book just about, kind of my life.
Autobiography. I think that would be super cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and I want to call it Alien. So I think that will be
So do
kind of,
you? Okay, that makes me have to stop you and ask you a
yeah,
question.
go.
Yeah. So I love the Galactics.
Yeah.
I work with them pretty
Mhm.
regularly
Yeah.
whenever they want to pop off, um,
Uh-huh.
and or in,
Uh-huh.
and so why do you call yourself Dana the alien? Like, what
Yeah,
does that mean to you?
sure. That is a great question. So I think it's morphed over the years, like, we all evolve and grow. I think when I was younger, I was just obsessed with aliens because well, this hasn't changed, but I related to them. I felt other. I felt, yeah, like just no one really saw me, and that people saw what they wanted to see in me. Like I was a mirror for people, and they projected all of their like, hate or love onto me. So I never felt really truly seen. And I feel like the same thing is with aliens. And I go into that in my book on Plasma, A New Force, where I talk about how I think a lot of these aliens, they're interdimensional energies, right? And when they visit us, they're cloaked in this plasma. and plasma reflects our subconscious. So when we're interfacing with these beings, a lot of the time, if we're in a state of fear, we're seeing demonic entities that are not demonic. And I'm not saying there's no such thing as them. I'm just saying there's a huge misunderstanding when we approach them with our resonance that they're just reflecting that back. Even if we think we're good vibes, I've been good vibes my whole life, but I had a lot of dark trauma vibes in there.
Yeah, we
And
all
it
have
was
all of it in us,
we
like,
have multidimensional.
yeah,
We have a
exactly.
rainbow of
The
yeah,
100%. Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, it's about loving that part, right? Like, I mean, I
Yes.
feel like that's when we start to really heal, when we meet our shadow and when we stop
Yeah.
denying it and we just kind of
Yes.
realize that it's all of us,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
that there's so much of it is, like you said, a reflection. And that totally made me want to ask you, do you know your human design?
I think I'm a manifesting generator. I don't know much about it, but I remember taking the test and that
Okay.
I had that.
Because there's like
Yeah.
different ones that, like, there's actually one
Yeah.
called a reflector, which is what it's
Oh, that's not
like
me.
we're describing. Like someone,
Yeah.
like, that's literally their whole life is they're reflecting
Yeah.
other people's energy. Like,
Yes.
I'm glad I'm not,
Oh,
it seems really hard. Um,
yes. Well, that's actually what I think is true is
mhm.
that all my life, I felt very disconnected, very alone, but I always wanted to help people,
Yeah.
in
Mhm.
whatever way I could, just even in small ways. It's not like I knew that was my mission. It's just like a thing that was inside of me, like whether it was help them feel a little better or laugh or something. And of course I have my selfish moments, everyone does,
Yeah.
but I think aliens are the same way, where I believe this. I know not everyone agrees. They want to help us. They want to help us evolve. They want to support us. They want to help our psychology. And
Yeah.
when you want to help people, you become that reflector. You become that mirror. When you're your authentic self, when you're aligned, you
Mhm.
just reflect what everyone else is projecting on you. And that is great as long as you have a good sense of self. But if you don't, you think that what everyone's thinking of you is the truth.
Great. 100%.
And
Yeah.
yeah. So anyway, that's how it's kind of morphed over the years with the alien thing. And now I kind of take it as the alien is more like Earth is my home, right? We're here for a reason, but
Yeah.
I know that I have a more expansive home as well. So it's almost like I'm both.
Oh, yes. 1000%.
You know.
I sure do. In fact, I call in my sessions people's galactic selves and merge
Yeah.
them with their human selves
Yeah.
during
You're
session.
gonna love my book. I talk
Oh, I
about
know
that
I'm gonna
too.
love your book.
Yeah.
I'm sure
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah.
I'm 100% sure.
Yeah.
So I'll call in their higher self, their inner child. Like, we'll give a
Yeah.
healing to each of these aspects of them, and then we'll bring
Oh,
them in, like bring them into that center channel,
I love that.
and integrate it all through the light.
Oh,
Bringing all their energy back to them, but purified into their own alignment, right? Because the energy's everywhere. We don't know what's
it's
going on,
all over.
right? It's like a conglomeration.
Yes.
And also helping, because what you were, I feel like, describing is that, like, people come into me just caked up, full of everybody else's energy.
Yeah.
And the thing is, we talk about this a lot, and you released a reel recently or reshared it or something that I came
Mhm.
across this week, where you're
Mhm.
talking a little bit about what you just said with the aliens, but you're also talking like demons, et cetera, et cetera.
Oh,
The
mhm.
one about like
The
being fear.
golem. Mhm.
Exactly. Um, and I feel like there's so many different like ways I want to talk about it, but I feel like what happens with a lot of people is that they
Mhm.
go into, especially spiritual people that are moving from like matrix 3D into like trying to ascend, trying to build new earth, trying to connect with
Yeah.
like these higher frequencies where we can create something really beautiful here, especially
Yeah. Yes.
like there's so much opportunity to
So
like
much.
do this thing. Like, let's
Yeah. Yeah.
like if everyone could
And
just
we
like get
will.
over this. Yeah,
Yeah.
just now's the time to bring it to love.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so basically, like, if people are coming into spirituality, I always call like the 4D, like the wild, wild west of spirituality.
4D. Exactly. It's
Everything's
totally.
out there. There's
Yeah.
demons, there's bad
Every
aliens, good aliens,
yeah.
elemental, everything's out there. Anything,
Yes.
anything you want. There's black magic, white magic, red magic,
Yes.
anything.
Green magic.
Uh,
It's like the game magic, like the card game magic.
I
Yeah.
don't know that card game.
Oh, there's a card. It's very addicting. You don't need to know it, but
Don't
it's
tell
a
me about other things I can be addicted to.
yeah, just It's like, yeah, but they have like blue cards. Red, you have your deck, and it's like red and black magic, white magic. Like there's all different kinds of magic, and
Okay, yeah, okay. So, all of that's out there, but people go in and the first thing everybody teaches, the spiritual teachers, you gotta protect yourself, protect, protect, protect.
yeah.
And the first thing I teach a course called Spiritual Foundations that
Hmm.
I like make sure everybody
Oh,
takes before I teach them to like channel or read
I
oracle
love that.
pendulum, or like you gotta like know how to be clean and clear and like
Yeah.
alive before you go into the wild wild west of spirituality.
Hmm. I
Like a lot of
agree.
times the people I see from 3D Matrix are actually have like a way better situation than somebody who's in that
In the
middle 4D
4D.
space that's just so messy,
I know.
confused. You know what I
Those
mean?
are a lot of them are my haters, right? But I think everyone goes through that in a sense. Like I'm sure,
100%.
yeah, I think that's why I'm like, people that, don't love everything I'm saying who like are like, no, the demons are real and they'll take
Yeah,
you over. And I'm like, yeah, they're real, but they're not. Like, you know
they're
what I mean?
real, but there's more.
You
Like,
have power. Like, yeah,
yeah,
and there's something
right.
more that you can exist in. Like, you don't have to exist there, girl. Like, anyway, I think those people eventually become, also my little pals because we all go through that tunnel.
We do. I
Yeah.
mean, beauty is the bridge, right? And we got to walk over the bridge. We have a lot to learn there. Like,
Yeah.
that's why I teach
Yeah.
people Reiki, I do yoga, all that stuff. That's all the
Yeah.
4D as far as I'm concerned. And,
Yeah.
it's nice to have that structure, that spiritual structure. This is how things work.
Yeah.
This is how you can use energy.
Yeah. We
Any,
need it.
anytime you go into like, just like if someone went out into the woods for 5 days, they would come back with better survival skills. I mean, that's
Yeah.
just how it works. You got to like
Yeah.
experience it to embody it.
Yeah.
And a lot of us in the spiritual world,
Yeah.
most of us come from trauma, I feel like, because that's
Yeah.
where we start our search,
Yeah.
and like it's also,
Yeah.
I think of the trauma that I experienced growing up, and I truly, deeply believe that it was my training for
Same.
the work that I'm meant to do in the world.
Yeah. I wouldn't take any of it back. I'm sure you
No way.
agree, even though it sucked. And
Right. It
sometimes I
definitely
wish,
sucked. Um,
yeah.
100 on that, but like
Yeah.
I would do it again. I really would.
Yeah. I
Um,
would too.
yeah, because I feel like you can't replace that kind of training. I always say like my parents were elite trainers. Like
Yeah.
thank God for them.
Hmm.
God for them. Every time I do a session, I'm like, thanks guys. Um,
Yeah.
my dad's in
Yeah.
spirit. And my mom
Me
is still
too.
present in here. She's beautiful,
Yeah.
wonderful.
Oh.
But
Mhm.
today is actually the 20th anniversary of my dad's transition.
Oh, it is. Oh.
Yeah, and, like, I know we had Tuesday planned. Um,
Yeah. Oh, that's so
I've made peace
crazy.
with, like, crying on this interview, so
Oh, yeah. No, it's
weepy all day, so,
yeah. Mm.
and I think there's actually a reason that, like, we needed to reschedule to the day, because when I rescheduled with you, I forgot it was the 18th,
Yeah.
and then I,
Oh,
like, woke up this morning, I was like, "Oh my god," like, I
you
have an interview
feel.
today, and I'm probably gonna cry all the way through it.
Hmm.
But,
Yeah.
like, I think there's probably a reason, like, we met today, um,
Yeah.
on this special day, so
I agree. I agree.
I view it that way.
I agree. I have a lot in common with you because I lost my dad in January. So, yeah, but I get the wound of losing the father, especially at least in my case when it was a complicated relationship. And I'm curious if you want to talk about what happened with you. But I think obviously he's just here today with us, and he's in the hugging you in the plasma. He's probably
Right?
everywhere else too.
Well,
But
that's what I wanted to hear you
yeah,
speak on, because I feel like you probably have a lot of really beautiful insight around this. Like,
yeah, I yeah,
how do you reconcile the plasma with our loved
with
ones in spirit,
suffering.
for example?
Sure. So I actually have a chapter in my book, a mini chapter about this, like suffering. So basically what happened with my dad in December is that he took a fall. He was on blood thinners, which I hate them, even though I know some people need them, but I feel like there's hopefully a better way we'll figure out to deal with heart issues. So we're like literally like this stuff. I hate saying this, but it really is true. And I think a lot of people who've had family members in hospitals will agree. Like the hospital killed him faster than his fucking injury. Like, I don't care. I'll say that all day. And I'm not saying I'm not grateful for certain doctors for, coming in, doing what they do, but I don't think everyone is educated in the right way, and that's not their fault. It doesn't mean I'm not grateful for the medical community, but I think it's all fucking upside down.
Well said. Inverse matrix is what I like to call it. Mhm.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to like offend anyone. Like I think yes, at some times like maybe there is not maybe, but like there is uses for medical things in a material world, right? But the cause of things and like how we treat things, ugh, a mess. So, yeah, my dad fell into a coma after he fell, and then the next month and a half is basically him waking in and out of it, but he had a tube in his throat, so we never got to speak to him. And there's a story to this, and I got to hold his hand, and we didn't have that relationship, so it was ironically, the only time I ever got to do that with my dad. And then, unfortunately, he passed January 23rd, just from like everything that was happening, the complications with he was waking up out of his coma, but then other stuff started failing. So it was just really frustrating, and he was 83, so. When I was literally beginning to write my book is when this happened. I wrote all my book after he passed and while he was going through this. So I decided to write a mini chapter on suffering. And I was like, why did he suffer? Like, those are the hard questions, right? If we're meant to have this, like, beautiful world and we're messing it up, like, why, even if this is a utopia, humans die. People get hit by cars, like, accidents happen.
Yeah.
And I have a theory about this, and I think it's true, but who knows? And it at least makes me feel better. And I think it could bring peace to a lot of people. And there's two things to this: where we go when we die, and that it continues, which I'll talk about, but why we specifically suffer. I feel like, and I really believe this in my heart, and hopefully this will make people want to heal and work on themselves. When we have lives like my dad did, where he suppressed everything, sometimes at the end of life, it's not karma, and it is not, even if you call it karma, it's not punishment. It's more like when we suppress those things, we sometimes have to learn those lessons near death, and my dad never knew how to slow down or how to be intimate in the right ways. So of course those were both taught to him right before his death with his daughter and his wife, and I thought that was crazy, and I thought that was one of the absurdities of life, not like it's fair. And I also kind of write in my book about death being more of a contraction of like a tension point. So even though, yes, it looks like they're suffering, and I've heard this from many patients who have been in comas and have came out of them, they're not always feeling the same pain that we're feeling for them. They're in this other world kind of already. Sorry, my dog's making an appearance. Danica.
I can't hear him, but he's welcome. Hi,
Um,
bud. What's his name?
Danica, her name. Okay,
Her name.
sorry. Yeah,
Danica. Cool
someone's
name.
just out. Yes, Danica. Someone was outside. So she was barking. So, Danica, hold on. Sorry, let me get my water.
No problem.
Yes, I believe that just like when we're given birth to and we go through the birth canal and we come out in this world, when people are dying, it looks, and it doesn't mean they're not suffering, but they're going to somewhere better. Like they're going to not even better, but somewhere different, but somewhere just beautiful and loving, and not with, the hardships of death and pain. And when they're being squeezed in that contraction point, it looks different to us. It's one of those things where we just don't understand the mystery of life. And, death is a very beautiful and a very hard process. And I think my dad is having a grand old time. It's more the family that suffers watching,
Hmm.
and I go a lot more in depth in it in my book. And then as far as like how I feel like I know that there's life after death, I think it's literally science, and I talk about this a lot. If we're all in this plasma torus, in this fourth dimensional plasma torus, bioplasma, dark plasma, whatever you want to call it, that also is connected with our collective unconscious, and it's our subconscious, right? And this is where our consciousness kind of lies around. And I draw a diagram of it in my book because I know this is kind of not making sense. But yeah,
So
we're in this thing. It's like our Merkaba, right?
Mhm.
And when we die, even though this body goes away, that body stays, and it goes into finer and finer states no matter where we are in that world. So, and our consciousness is just in here. It's just crystallized right now in this 3D reality. But why we dream, why we can astral project, why I can close my eyes and think of the Eiffel Tower is because my consciousness is not solid. It's liquid, right? It's a river, it's a flow. And it can crystallize when I'm like in survival consciousness and like on autopilot and just thinking about worries, but it can also expand. You think, yeah. And I was guided, like everyone was telling me, how did you research all that? I didn't. I was just guided to look at certain things, and I just it's like I knew how to put the book together. I don't know how I never overthink anything I do because then I can't do it.
You're a claircog. That's why.
Oh, okay, yes.
You're
Yeah, and I want to
claircog.
hear
You're very. When you said that. You are. You're very claircognizant, I think is why
Okay.
that's happening.
Yeah, okay, I want
The
to hear more
knowing.
about.
The
Yeah, the
knowing.
knowing.
And it's a direct connection. So like when you have, and I won't like go into the diatribe,
Yeah.
the teaching people diatribe, but I want to, one second. I want to say that,
Claire cognizant
oh,
because of writing
yeah.
my book.
So with the other clairs, there's like
Hmm.
10, 11, probably more that we don't
Yeah.
know. But like the other clairs, like clairaudience, where you're hearing spirit, or clairvoyance, where you're seeing spirit. And like honestly, I believe we all have all of them, but like we
Yeah.
have to develop some, whereas others are just there when we're like we come in with them. Like real strong. And the other ones
Agree.
we have to like work on, just like any skill, right? We're really good at
Yeah.
some stuff. We have to practice other stuff. But we can all do it. Um,
Hmm.
Claire cogs like go through life just being like, I don't know how I knew that. I don't know how I was guided to find that. I don't know. I just wrote it. Like I used to write my papers in college. I would sit down,
Yeah.
go write the whole paper, not edit it, not read it,
Yeah.
and hand it in and get an
Yeah.
A. Like,
Yeah.
and people are like, "How did you do that?" And I'd be like, "I don't know." Like,
Yes. Yes,
like that's what you sound
exactly.
like about this book.
Yes.
And that's why I'm feeling like this is a very claircognizant energy
Hmm.
because, and it's very pure. Because when you have to, for example, see a vision and then bring your ego mind back in and
Yeah.
explain what you're seeing, it distorts it from our
Yeah.
perspective. But when you're
Yeah.
coming straight from God, source, spirit, consciousness, whatever you want
Yeah.
to call it, there's no distortion to be had because it's literally just coming out your mouth,
Yes.
your hands. So
Yes.
the hardest part of being claircognizant is believing it in
Yes.
yourself.
Yes.
And the rest of it, it's actually claircogs tend to be clearer, they tend to be more accurate in like psychic
Mhm.
readings because
Yeah.
they're not, it's not interfered with. And not that the other
Yeah.
clairs are beautiful and wonderful and we want to develop all of them to work
Yeah.
all together, you know,
Yes.
in essence, all of them
Yeah.
together. But you know, the claircognizance is just such a sleeper. Like, and
Mm.
it's so it's like Diana, you know who Diana Cooper is?
Diane Cooper. What
She's
is
like
she?
the she's like the grandmother of the woo world right now. She's very famous for her oracle cards. She's probably like 100 years old. She's like been
Okay.
around a really long time. She's British. Um
Okay.
and she is like all she's just check her out. I actually
Okay.
did an
Yeah.
interview with her a couple years ago that
Oh, okay. I'll Google
I
her.
like an authority on things in a lot of ways. People really respect her. Uh,
Okay.
and she's said before, like, you have to lower your vibration to like access the other clairs versus you don't have to for claircognizance.
Yeah.
And that's
No,
just like a
not at
little bit
all.
more judgy way to say the same thing.
Yeah. No, but I agree because and yeah, you could just say what you were saying about the 4D. Like there's a lot of the clairs that work within the 4D, and I do know that the my knowing is attached more to what I would call the 5D, which can splinter out to literally every other D. I guess they're whatever, the
Correct.
multi worlds of.
Right. I feel like once you pass four, what it's like the same.
Yeah, and I can live within both worlds, and I'm famous for myself for getting stuck in 4D because I that's my biggest challenge is like not doubting myself, not worrying, not letting the energy that's not mine and thinking it's mine, letting someone reading one thing about a fearful thing and then like going in a tailspin about it. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's my personal stuff I still need to work through because at first it was very clear. And then just with more of a following, I guess, just more stuff started coming at me. And like, I, yeah, sometimes I can get distracted. So that's my biggest challenge.
Yeah, and back to what we were talking about when I was talking about the spiritual foundations class and saying people go in there and all the teachers are
Mhm.
like protect, protect, protect. And
Mhm.
like I always ask everybody, what's the energy, what's the emotion at the bottom of protection? Like where what
Fear.
is it? It's fear.
Yeah.
And like what's one of the like most inviting negative things in your life frequency you can be in?
Fear.
The fear frequency. You
Instead
know,
of
what's
just
the
resonating
yeah,
and
what are we being
pushing
like
out.
pummeled with right now from every
Yeah.
aspect? Fear. Like, so,
Mhm.
like, every time you're protecting and putting up all this protection, you're like, I don't
You're
trust
in
what I'm
fear.
seeing. And so,
You're
what do you
so
call in?
right.
right? And so like I
Wow.
start my students there. I'm like, we are not going in the
Mm.
4D scared.
Mm.
I'm like, that's
No, because
gonna
that's
fly
when shit happens.
this.
Yeah,
It's
we are
getting
so
people in a
plugged
lot of
in. Yeah.
trouble. I know,
You're
right? We're really aligned. I can tell when like I watch you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, so it's
Um,
because what you're saying though is helping me right now because it doesn't matter how much I know these things, you can't embody everything you know at once.
right.
And like what you're saying is helping me because it is true. When I go in the 4D, or anywhere, even try to get in the 5D, which I can never get in this state. But like you have to go through the 4D in a way to get to the 5D. Like at least like that's why I've experienced it. Even if it's a bridge or tunnel and you're over the 4D, like they're basically if like while you're rocketing off or while even while you're just resonating, right? It's all here. When I'm resonating, it's like I have this 4D plasma around me and that has to be clear.
Yeah.
And while what you're saying, if I obsess over like protection, which is like when I do this thing with my wrist and I protect myself and I'm like that's when you see all the scary shit. Yeah, that's
Correct. Yeah.
yeah.
So what I
Instead of
tell people, yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
no, I was just saying instead of just like when I'm just not worried about protecting myself, when I'm just resonating like and this is what I write in my book about like curious and having fun like a kid, I don't need to do any of that. I'm just being Dana. Yeah, so thanks for that reminder because I'm going through a lot right now, so I needed to hear that.
Right? So it's like authenticity, joy, and
Hmm.
um I can't remember what
All
the
of those.
those three are like the
Love.
highest frequencies, right? So that's
Yeah.
exactly what you're just describing. You're like, and then when I'm enjoying
Yeah.
authenticity, I like all I see is angels.
Yeah.
So that's true. What I tell people is, there's a balance to be had, right? Like there's
Yeah.
times when you want to call in support because
Yeah.
maybe you went out drinking last night,
Yeah.
which, you know, might have invited in some trouble,
Yeah, as a
or
human.
maybe you got woken up by your kids 17 times and you're just at the bottom of your exhaustion and you just
Yeah.
like you don't want to roll up in the 5D on like
Yeah.
fumes, right? Like maybe you
Yeah.
call something in, but
Hmm.
like at the end of the day, we always want to be walking around building our light, shining our light out so that we're in a transmutative frequency, so that what comes into our field dissolves to light. We
Hmm.
hold that light. And
Hmm.
then it's just the being of it. It's like you can go to the store and like people are getting like healings because you're holding your vibration in a way
Yeah.
where they can get that transmuted energy. And it's like
Yeah.
the worse that comes at you, the higher your frequency you'll go if you think about
Yeah.
it from like a physics type of perspective.
Yeah.
So that's really important.
I agree.
And I feel like that's a lot of us just like start off in fear and it just causes, a landslide of
Massive.
things, right? I also talk about that with manifesting, and I'm like, what's at the bottom of manifesting?
Like control, like
Lack
lack. Yeah. Yeah.
and
Like,
fear that you're gonna stay in lack. That like,
yeah.
so it's like we're
I
not.
hate
You said it's
manifesting.
all right here. We're just remembering. We're not making. We're not like bringing something that's not in us to us. We're bringing something in us out of us
Yeah.
forward, so we can
Yeah.
embody experience it in the 3D. It's like we're like 3D printing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
You
emerging
know?
out of us. That's a great analogy. Yes.
So
Yeah.
it's so interesting, to think about it like that. Now back to the tube Taurus, please.
Yeah.
'Cause that part.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to show you this,
Yeah.
which is just, I guess, like maybe your symbol or emblem or something.
It
Or
was the first symbol I kind of saw in my head with like plasma and the multidimensional self and consciousness and the feedback loop and
so
an
I want to tell you
esoteric.
how I experienced this and like
Yeah,
why this
tell
was
me.
such a big deal to me when I saw it.
Yeah.
When I opened your book and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a secret symbol to the people who get it, kind of who resonate with that symbol.
I
Yeah.
think so. So one of the things I do lots of things in sessions. One of
Yeah.
the things, and one of the things I want to mention before I go into this is that
Mhm.
many of us believe in like this spiritual healing world that like almost everything or every single thing, every illness, every problem, every mental issue, every emotion, everything that we're going through is a thought form and emotion
Yeah.
creating it. Everything. Like, which is why
Yeah.
I've dove so hard in the past couple years into homeopathy,
Yeah.
because it's very much energetic medicine.
Mm-hmm.
And so it operates in that exact, it's like what it does is it almost triggers you energetically to
Hmm.
ask your body to,
Like what it needs or
yeah, manage
yeah.
that thing, to bring that thing out of
Mm.
you so that
Okay.
you're willing.
Oh, interesting. I'll
So,
have to look more into that
oh
homeopathy.
gosh, you're gonna love it.
Okay.
You're gonna love it. So anyways, what I do now, if like anybody isn't feeling well in my family, I take my pendulum over my
Yeah.
first aid homeopathy kit. I pick a
Yeah.
number with the pendulum and then I look it up afterwards to see what it's for. It's like always
Yeah.
nails it. And I give
Oh,
them that. It's literally sugar pellets in water. And I give
yeah.
them spoonfuls of it.
Yeah. Because it's
That's
just
it. That's how my kids healed right now.
the
Like
the
that's what
body heals itself. I haven't, I know this is, I'm not giving medical advice, everyone, but I haven't
no,
been to a
neither of us ever
doctor.
giving
No,
medical
no,
or financial
no,
advice
no.
for
Yeah.
entertainment purposes
Just
only.
letting, yeah, just letting everyone know because what I'm about to say is going to sound
Oh,
like that, but
I
it's
would say
just
in
my
every session.
This
Yeah.
is my experience, but like I haven't been to a doctor since I was 15 and I'm like so healthy. Like I haven't been to a dentist either. I have no cavities. And I'm not saying I'm right or wrong. I'm just saying like I'm yeah, and I love to self-heal. And it's not like I won't seek support if I need it. I'm not saying if you feel deathly ill, don't go to a doctor. But yeah, just for me, like it works for me and
Yeah, I
I
think
feel
the less
very
we
healthy.
entertain, the more our body's intelligence does its job.
Yeah, yeah. And I think I love like Chinese medicine. Like if I do need to go to a doctor, whether I want to get like blood labs or something in the future, like if I ever had a dietary issue, like I would go to a doctor who's like very holistic and in Chinese medicine
Yeah,
probably. Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. Like the learning about the bladder meridian basically like revolutionized
Yes.
my like way of thinking about health because it's
Sorry.
so much going on in that bladder meridian.
Yeah.
Okay, so session. So that one of the things we'll do is we'll clear
Mm.
emotions and thought forms that need
Yeah.
to get released, right? And a lot of other stuff we talked about. But after I do a bunch of stuff, one thing I always do is I activate what I call the crystal diamond heart frequency.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
if you look in the heart chakra of someone, you can see this beautiful, like crystalline diamond
Hmm.
rainbow light.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know you see it.
Oh, I
And
see it.
then you
Yeah.
come I asked to bring it all the way down
Yeah.
below 3D Earth. And below
Mhm.
3D Earth, Spirit shows me a ocean made
Yeah.
of this light, which I think is your plasma.
Oh, that's
Um,
so cool.
and there's an ocean made of this light. And sometimes
Yeah.
when I'm really stressed, I'll go down there and like a
Mhm.
whale will come by and I'll just like lay on the whale's back
Oh, I love that.
stored in the light. And like what Spirit shows me is that like everything that happens in this like crystalline diamond light ocean is at
Yeah.
this high transmutative frequency. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like we can do all these things here. We can release our
Yes.
energy and we can bring our energy back and so forth. Then below that, they show me a crystalline diamond grid of the new
Yeah.
earth with that same
Ooh.
crystal diamond heart down in the core and connect
Whoa.
to that and bring the
Yeah.
light all the way back up through all of us, through the body, through the mitochondria, et cetera,
Yeah.
all the way up. And
Uh-huh.
then have me activate what they
Uh-huh.
call literally, and I've been doing this longer than I than before I saw you,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
is the golden plasmatic frequency.
Whoa.
And I have it's in the solar plexus.
Uh-huh.
And it's
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
like they show it to me like it's the like mana of the like
Yeah.
great central sun.
Yeah. Yeah. You're in her son.
Spirit. And
Mm-hmm.
that goes all the way up, connects with that, and pulls it down, and like just like honey
Oh,
coming
I love
down
that.
over us, like nourishing and sealing in all of that diamond light. And then they integrate through what is the pranic tube.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we clear, purify, and
Uh-huh.
activate through this pranic tube with this integrated rainbow diamond light and plasma golden
Uh-huh.
frequency, which I feel like I see you describe all the time.
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing. I feel like when we're connecting above and below, because I
Yeah.
think it's kind of all above and below is the same thing.
Oh,
And
I mean,
Spirit often shows it to me like an ocean, like there's water
yeah.
above and below us. And I guess that's the
Yeah.
plasma. And so
Mhm.
then we clear, purify, and activate through all the layers, levels, and dimensions. We go through the breath body, the physical body, the
Mhm.
spiritual, emotional, mental body, the cosmic, galactic,
Yeah.
multidimensional, and the aura. And so, like, it starts like this, but
Whoa.
it goes like this.
Yeah,
all the way
for
out from
sure.
that center line
Yeah,
into the Taurus. And so literally what I see in sessions and what I'm doing with them is
yeah.
exactly that diagram.
Yeah. Oh, that's so beautiful. I loved hearing you speak that way too, because I have visions like that all the time. And I'm curious, I want to ask you a question. So, like, because I've been going through a hard year and a hard time, I've lost a lot of those visions. Like, I haven't as many of those beautiful visions because I am working in the 4D right now. Like, I'm healing stuff that needs to be healed, like for my next incarnation, for my human self. And as you said, it's all a balance. And, I don't think it would be as transfixing in that beautiful 5D space if, like, I didn't sometimes, hang around and tinker in the 4D working on myself in that way. But I'm curious for you, have you had times like that where you have some months where you are in a bit of a fear state, but then you come out of it and you're in an even more expanded state? Like, I want to know if you've had
Oh,
that.
1000%. I mean, I
Yeah.
think that that happens like almost in a microcosmic kind of way as well. Like sometimes that
Yeah.
whole
Just like,
experience could happen to me within one day. I mean,
yeah.
like where I'm into
Do you
like
ever feel
total
like,
fear and panic, and then like an hour later, and I
yeah.
cry, and then I'm like, I
And then you're
don't
great. Same, but do you ever feel like I think what I'm trying to get away, and I bet you a lot of people can relate to this, is I feel sometimes shame, which I shouldn't,
I was just
for
gonna
like
bring up team. Yeah.
for being in that space because I'm like, because what you're saying too, it's like I know I could be there more. And it's like sometimes I do think I hang out a little bit too long in the 4D because like I don't know, just no one's pulling me out of it. And sometimes I forget to pull myself out. And I think in the book by Monica Wickman, Pregnant Darkness, she calls it the realm of the mothers. And they warn if you're in it too long. And it's like, I'm just curious if you ever feel that and like how you get out of that. Cause I know we don't need to feel shameful for it, but it's just like the
Well, I feel like shame is like the thing that keeps us in it.
Yeah,
Is the
yeah,
first thing. So I mean,
yeah.
I
It's
think the
instead
bigger
of just
thing is that like that's how we get stuck is those perseverating emotions. And it's
yeah,
not to say, well, just then don't have it.
I know. Just
Simple. I mean, it's not that
yeah.
simple.
It
Um,
is though. It really
but
is.
it
And we make it so
is.
it's I could just be like, okay, Dana, like that you were there, you had stuff to work on, and now that you're thinking this, you are out of it. So why the fuck are you still
Right.
thinking?
Right. Well, here's the other thing, right? Like,
Yeah.
I feel, and this is something that I think is also like a collective energy that's going on with like sort of light workers and way showers and spiritual leaders at this time is that there's, like you said, there's an evolution. Like you perseverate in the 3D. We probably, you said you did that for 20 years. I think I did that for more than 20 years after I shut
Mm.
everything out and down. And
Yeah.
hey, I would be happy to answer all your questions, but it's like 10:58, so like we can do this again, and I'll answer everything
Yeah,
in
yeah.
great
Yeah, we'll
depth.
need a
But
we'll need a part two.
I want to be respectful of your time because I know you have
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
Um, but
Mhm.
we also marinate and do deep dives in 4D, which I also did, and I'd say I did that the most between 2017 and 2021.
Mhm.
I went down all the 4D rabbit holes of um, our reptilian
Oh, same.
overlords, our
Same.
Pizzagate, our pedophilia,
Same.
probably lots of
Same.
things that, like, if I talk about them, will just this video will
Yeah.
get shown to nobody because
Yeah.
they'll block me
Yeah.
on every.
We all go through it though.
I did it. I did it. I went all the way down those rabbit holes, and thankfully, I did it right before C19 was
Mm-hmm.
released.
Mm-hmm.
So, or whatever, or was came into our consciousness, um,
Yeah.
and so I was very primed by spirit with like heavy discernment abilities because
Mhm.
I had gone down those rabbit holes and pulled myself out, which
Yeah,
was,
yeah,
to
yeah.
your point, much harder
Yeah.
than I would have thought because
Yeah.
it really takes you. I mean, there's heavy spiritual implants and that stuff. I mean, that stuff
Yeah.
is manufactured to grab us.
To grab you. That's what I write about in my book too. As much as I love a
Lucky,
good conspiracy, they're like whirlpools. They're
yeah,
like
they
if
are. And
we're really not supposed to know stuff, we're not gonna know it. So if what we know, people want us to know. So
that's
let's
what I
remember that.
right. Exactly.
We don't know the nuclear codes for a reason.
Right.
So
Yes. So it's like you have to have that time. And just like you've come to a healed enough place to call your trauma your training,
yeah.
like and you don't feel shameful about it, it's like you're in a healed enough place to call your experiences deep diving in 3D and 4D as training and knowledge and embodiment.
Yeah.
Um, I could not teach people to be multidimensional healers the way that I am able to do if I did
You
not
weren't in that. Same.
perseverate in those spaces. So
Yeah, you're
I'm
right.
glad I did it, honestly.
Yeah.
And then you like continue to build your light, like we were talking about
Yeah,
earlier, and you get into a place where like it's multi-dimensional truly. Like I love
totally.
the 3D. I love her. Like
Same.
I
Yeah,
love it
same.
here. And I always am like, Earth is the Vegas of the cosmos. Like what
Yeah,
happens on
cool.
Earth
Yeah,
stays on Earth. Like let's party. Like we could do
yeah,
anything here.
yeah,
The
yeah,
darkest, the lightest, and
yeah.
everything between, and that's fucking beautiful.
It is. It's a playground.
And so,
Yeah.
like, if we can hold our light in sovereignty,
Hmm.
we can play in 3D, we can
Yeah.
play in 4D, we can,
Yeah.
and what that's done for me, and it's in a
Hmm.
continual journey and evolution. And what it's done for me is it's loosened me up on food.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I love
Yeah.
any food.
You know what I mean? Like I went through
Yeah.
during that same period of time, I was very
Yeah.
restrictive with what I was eating because, oh, our food's
Mhm.
poison. And that's not false.
No, but it's like we can almost overcome that in a way. Does that make sense? Like, because
Yes,
everything's poison. So it's like,
correct.
it's
Correct.
more about our vibration.
That's
And
part of the 4D learning, right?
I'd
Like,
rather eat a chocolate cake that could kill me in a year than like a hamster food granola bar that has no taste.
right. And there's a doctor I follow, Dr. Bradley Campbell, he's amazing.
Yeah.
And he always says like a happy donut is way better for your health than like a sad salad.
1,000,000%. Did
And
you
I
struggle watching scary movies or do you still not watch those?
I don't want to watch them. I don't like
Okay,
watching
because I don't want to either, and I didn't know if that would
them.
ever come back. Because I used to like them, and now they're like so. I'm not judging them. It's just like I don't feel good
Doesn't feel
watching
good.
them. And yeah, they don't entertain me, and I don't feel good watching them. And it
Yeah.
sucks because they used to really entertain me, but it's like, whoa, what was I in back then?
I never really liked horror, but
Yeah.
what I did love, like I was a SVU criminal mind
Oh,
junkie, like
same, but now
that
I'm not
stuff.
either.
That was my stuff. True crime, like that.
Yeah.
It wasn't horror, like that just never turned me on. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't care about like ketchup and masks. Like,
Yeah.
like I just never got into it. But the
Yeah.
like true stuff and like the stuff that
Yeah.
could really happen. Like I live in Northern Virginia, like right outside of DC.
Yeah.
Criminal Minds.
Oh,
It's always like
yeah.
arrest in Virginia. I'm like, no, 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 no.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, no.
Yeah.
It's like extra scary, extra like real. It's real.
Yeah.
It's real people that have always gotten to me, not monsters.
No, I mean, because
Real
those are the
people
worst. Yes.
for me a lot
And
more.
I can do 10 more minutes. My therapy is at 11:30. I wanted to eat, but I can eat after. But just if you want to extend it 10 minutes, I'm okay doing that.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because I'll just eat after my.
yes. So
But yes, people are the scariest ones. And
yeah.
that is actually what I'm going through right now. And the 4D is my fear of people because I think it is a fear of connection too. And it's a fear of vulnerability. But mine, like, and I'm just being very vulnerable sharing this, but like, mine is almost veered off some of the time into paranoia, thinking not in like a way where I need medication, but in a way where it literally is from my trauma,
Mhm,
scared that someone's going to come kill me or kidnap me because I know people who speak their truth. That's happened in the past with women. So it's not,
indeed.
but it's like, I have to remember, like, I'm in a timeline where that is not going to happen. It can become a self-fulfilling prophecy. And it's also like, I'm wasting so much time being scared of people instead of like knowing most people are good. Everyone is good in them, but we all have fear along the way. But it's like
Mhm.
that I'm working right now on releasing that stupid storyline that like
The thing
I've
about
had a lot, but yeah.
the things about our stories is that they come from real things and experiences that happen
Yeah,
to us, and
the
then
past lives, yeah.
we like code them or they imprint on us, and
Yeah.
then we just keep creating them.
Yes,
And so
yes,
like
yes.
it's like we're doing it. We're choosing
Yeah.
to keep creating that story. And like I love what you said about the timelines. I mean,
Mm,
I've been working a lot more with timelines over the past year or so,
yeah.
and just diving into like learning about them and understanding it better. And I also tell my students a lot of times, like once we get past the basic seven chakras and the like
Yeah.
4D information, like Reiki and stuff, like
Yeah.
we're all still figuring this out.
Yeah.
Like we're not gonna have 10 out of 10 people aren't gonna say the same exact thing. about some of this like higher level stuff because we're like the new age shamans figuring it
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
The stuff we know now came from the people doing that a long time ago for us.
Yeah.
Now we're doing
Yeah.
it for the future. Um,
Yes.
and so, we won't have leadership isn't it doesn't bring comfort and certainty. Like that's not what it is. One of my spiritual mentors once I kept getting stuck back on not being understood, and I still get stuck on it, feeling misunderstood,
Mm.
feeling like, oh, nobody understands me.
Yeah,
The
of
victim
course.
bullshit I do, and
Yeah, I have that
and
too.
nobody sees me. Like, shut
I
up.
have that
But like,
too.
yeah,
I have that.
but I
Mm.
mean, it imprinted on us for a real reason, and it's just
Yeah,
gonna be a really it got in really hard,
yeah,
and so it's a little bit more layers before it
yeah,
all is what we're
yeah.
really
You just got to
go
work on it.
yeah.
Yeah.
But like when we get in that space,
Hmm.
like we go into these spirals, shame,
Yeah.
right? And then we get into that stickiness. But I
Hmm.
feel like as soon as we let go of that idea of fear, once again, whether it's
The
other people,
surrender.
whatever the story is, then we can
Yeah.
start creating our own story. Um,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. And when it happened, so like when it happened for me that I couldn't watch those shows anymore was when I gave birth for the first time.
Mm.
I was terrified. I mean, it was actually giving birth that actually um, really, really awakened me. Like there's little moments throughout life, like when my dad died and stuff like that. And by the
Mm-hmm.
way, our story is quite similar.
Wow.
He had cancer. It was like
Mhm.
uh, stage 4. They said he's going to die in 6 months. Not really much
Yeah.
we could do. You can try these different things. We tried them, but
But you
um,
had to watch suffer through that. Yeah.
that part was hard. The
Ugh.
dying.
Yeah.
He did actually have a
Hmm.
fall and broke a hip, and that was the end was on blood thinners, and that was the beginning of the end. Ended up in
Oh.
the hospital.
My dad had cancer too, by the way. So it is the same. My dad had bladder cancer for 2 years, but then this is what did him in. Isn't that
Yeah, this
crazy?
was the
Yeah.
thing. This was the thing, and it was
Yeah.
him going in there to that rehab place, which
Oh, I hate
skin
those.
salt. Like I can't.
Our nurse was like on opiates. I was like, are you fucking kidding me
It's
right now?
it's
Our
not.
nurse was high giving my dad medication. I was like, I literally reported him. I was like, I can't believe this.
And they were like, "Yeah, he's gonna die tonight. Come say goodbye to him." We brought him home. He lived for another 21 days. It's literally like the same story. And I held his
Whoa.
hand when he died.
Whoa.
That's
Wow.
wild to me. That's I've never heard a story so similar.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I was
Yeah,
28. It was like during my I was 27. It was during my soul
yeah.
return. And
Yeah.
so it happened when you were 30. Is that your 30?
36. So I was 35. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it sucked, but I almost was gonna say it had to happen, but that sounds so horrible, but it didn't have to happen, but it was like divine timing in the weirdest way. Like I think anyone spiritual would understand that. But
Okay.
it's like
Well, what about
I
soul contracts? Like, do you believe that it was contracted between you? Like,
I think my dad and me have had a lot of complicated lives together. We had a very complicated relationship. Some things I probably won't share for a very long time, but my dad was not a bad person. My dad, did everything financially he could for me. There were just some things emotionally that were, tough. And I think that when my dad died, with the complexity of things that I can't get into with between us, I knew that his soul, I loved his soul. No matter, what confusion or pain was caused in this life,
mhm.
um, his soul loves me. So when he passes, it's almost like now we can have that healthy father-daughter relationship that we never had. And I know he supports me. I see him like dancing up there in the heavens. Like he's very whimsical. But oh God, it's so complex. I'll eventually talk about it, but I just can't. But yeah, either way, for anyone that has complex relationships, like I know that his soul, just like all of our souls are good. And for anyone that has any issues with people who passed away, like when they pass, they're their soul, their love, they're a pure love. They're not all these human incarnations. But yeah, I think we've had like a complex run of things. And I think that it's weird to say this, but I mean, maybe I don't know this, but I think like my next life, I might have a different father. So I guess we'll see.
Sure. What I often see is it's those people that are willing to make the vow or agreement with you in spirit to come and play a villain or play a complex or complicated
Yes,
role in your life are actually those souls that would love us the most at the
the
like
most.
level, because like
Yeah, that's
think
why the
about,
loss is so confusing. Yeah.
yeah, like think about, when you have to, I don't know, because there's no examples of stuff I would like do to my kids like for their own good. That would be like bad.
Mhm.
So
Well, I think
it's
it's
not a
just
good
like,
example. Like, but
yeah. I
um,
see what you're saying though. Like before we came down here, yes. For instance, if my dad wasn't my dad, um, like, okay, like there are things, that traumatized me. There are also things that like saved me. Like he literally, sorry, my stupid thing went up. He financially
no, I was
helped
saying it's
me.
11:11. I guess
Oh, so
your
I
stuff
was,
went off at 11:11.
oh, that's so funny. But yeah, he financially helped me for things that I never could have gone through without him. So anyway, he was like the perfect father for this lifetime. Even though that sounds so weird saying, like like was he the perfect father in like a movie for a father? No, but like he was exactly what I needed to become the person I'm supposed to become. That's how I'll say it.
The
Yeah,
best and highest good of all, like
yeah,
if you will. Like,
yeah.
yeah.
Sorry, my sister is texting me.
No, I think maybe this
Um,
is a good place to like kind of wrap because
yes, yes.
it's a good
Okay.
nice ending. Is there anything you'd like to? I mean, I'd like to tell everyone to go buy a new force and to follow Dana the alien.
Yes.
But anything else you want to leave people with before we? And I hope we can do it
Yeah.
because we have so much to
No, we will. No, I mean you have my number, right? Just I'll give you my number before we get off. I think what I would like to leave people with is kind of everything we talked about, that I think we're our own biggest critics, and like my inner shame for being on this roller coaster of life is my biggest hurdle, right? So I think if we can just, me included, probably you included, work on embracing being kinder to ourselves and understand that we're sometimes in 3D, 4D, 5D, and there's no perfect mix. Life is such a freaking mystery. Weird
One's
things
not better than the
happen.
other. It's not better. You're not a better
It's
person if
no,
you're operating in one of these dimensions versus
all
the
of
other.
them. Yes, because I know people who I would consider way better than me who are not even spiritual, and they have like the most random job and they're the jolliest, beautiful soul ever. So like
For
none
sure.
of that matters. It's more like, yeah, just the self-judgment, at least for me. Like if you're going through it, I'm going through it too. And like let's get ourselves out of it. I'm not saying I know exactly the way, but I think the way is just embracing the mystery, and not having to understand it all. So
Loving
yeah.
ourselves, right? Loving and trusting. And I have to
Yeah.
say one more thing, which is that if you're not
Yeah.
familiar with it, I did a book. I've done it. I'm doing it with my daughter now, the second time
Mhm.
through. I did it by
Mhm.
myself the first time, called Mirror Work by Louise Hay.
Yes, I have that book. I haven't read it.
Dude, you don't have to read it. It's not a
Okay.
real book. It's like it's an affirmation. You could spend literally 5 or 7 minutes a day on each chapter, which is like
Okay.
mirror affirmation, a 2 minute meditation, literally, that you can like
Mhm.
just listen to on
Mhm.
like Spotify. And like a heart thought or a um, like a little journal entry you can choose,
Mhm.
and it's so manageable because like I have too much to manage and I could still
Yeah.
like manage it,
Yeah.
because you just do one every day for 21 days and it's over.
Cool. Okay, I'll check it out.
It was revolutionary, truly. Like
Really.
it, everything we're talking about it addresses. Like
Mm.
loving yourself in your shadow,
Yeah.
like meeting your inner child and loving
Mhm.
her, asking
Mhm.
her what she needs. Like there's just so much
Mhm.
to it. It's so beautiful.
Mhm.
And then like the third part of like the first week, you're meeting yourself. The second week, it's your child. And the third
Mhm.
week, it's like you start talking about creating a reality because you're coming
Oh,
from
love
this
it.
loving, very
Okay.
like accepting place of yourself. I think it
Oh,
would, I think it will really help you in the
yeah.
situation that you're talking about right now.
Whatever I'm in right now. Yeah, whatever I'm going. One of my life
Yeah.
transformations.
Yeah, it
It's
really
been a
will.
rough year.
Mhm.
Oh, thank you. Okay, well, I would love, yeah, to talk further.
Thank
I'm
you so much
gonna,
for your time.
but thank you for having me. This was
Thank you.
amazing.
Yes, I
Yes.
so grateful. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
we'll chat soon.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.